Hi, everybody, and welcome to. Ooh, nice. We got sound effects now. We're upgrading people's upgraded. And by upgraded, I also mean we be drinking.
That's right.
Because remember, if you didn't listen to last episode, we are talking about wine today. Um, and I have some feelings about this documentary, as in I yelled at my screen multiple times.
Huh? Uh-huh.
Um, and not because of the content, because the content was like, "Okay, cool, people are trying to, like, learn and do things." I love when people learn, but I hated some people here, and I yelled at them, and to that end, me and Elaine are currently drinking because we figured we love a theme, we should be drinking
That's
some
right.
wine. I did a little spritz here because I came a little bit already packing drinks, so I went watering it down, and then I'll come back up to, regular but, Elaine's really gonna drive this one because she knows all about wines.
Nerd.
I go, "This tastes great," I think. I love tasting this. It's bubbly, it's fun, it's fruity, and that's all I got.
That's all you need,
And
honestly.
that's all you need,
It's really
not
all you need.
according to this documentary.
Well, I think that's one of the things I like about this documentary because we watched Somm, which
Yes,
is a 2012 documentary. And apparently I really like documentaries from the early 2010s.
because they were getting good
They
then,
were
like,
getting good,
they were actually.
but still without that, like, super mega production and, like, super bias, right? It was truly just, like, documentary, like, "We are documenting this, there's no narrator, we're just straight to camera interviews and, like, you know, watching these people in real time in real life." Um, I will never forget the first time I watched this. It follows a handful of dudes in this one, who are trying to become master sommeliers. I watched this on a flight, and, like, 10 minutes into the movie, I turned to my then boyfriend, now husband, and was like, "I'm quitting everything, and I'm studying to become a master sommelier." By about halfway through the documentary, I was like, "Fuck this. I never want to become a master sommelier."
'Cause, like, when they talked about the theory part, I was like, "I'm down. History,
Yep.
maps, I'm
Yep.
down. I will do all this." And they were like, the tasting, the
Then
serving,
the blind
dealing
taste.
with then the blind tasting, and then, like, serving assholes, essentially. Like, the whole point is for people to be assholes when they're, like,
Yeah.
serving or whatever, and I was like, I would slam a bottle of wine down and then pour it down somebody's head.
Well, it's like the scene in Parks and Rec where, Tom, in the final since think season 7, where Tom
Yeah.
is opening Tom's Bistro, and he went to this wine event to try to find the best sommelier, only to find out that Craig, played brilliantly by Billy Eichner, is actually very good at it, and so when they, like, give him a trial run and he and Donna are just, like, absolute nightmares of customers, and then he goes he goes in the back, he just starts screaming at the top of his lungs. They're like, "Well, we'll just have to make sure that the wine cellar is soundproof." I would be like, I loved bartending because the customer is not always right. Like, when you wait tables, the customer is always right, and you gotta put up with it. When you're a sommelier, granted, the hope is that you are there so people can say, "Here's what I like, here's my price point, here's what we're ordering, go." Like, that's the hope, right? And, like, that's why they're there. But you do have to some people will have some crazy requests, right? Like Donna, who wants to put ice in her red wine, which, like, listen, if you wanna put ice in red wine, like, fucking fine, do what you want. But, yeah, like, bartending was my favorite
So
because the
why
customer's not always.
Yeah, but why is a bartender always right?
It's not that the bartender is always right. It's just the difference in when you're waiting tables, the customer is always right,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, when you're a bartender, if someone starts being an asshole, you can cut them off, if they try to fight you and say, like, "I ordered this," or "I'm not paying for this," or whatever, like, you can push back a little bit because it's I'm not saying you should, but, like, it is a
Yeah.
place in the restaurant where I think you can stand up for yourself a little bit more, especially as a woman, like, I saw, like, the absolute most crazy fucking shit always as
I bet.
a
Yeah.
bartender. Um, and I think because especially sitting at the bar, not to say people who are sitting at a table can't get rowdy and crazy, but, like, when you're working the bar and I worked at a dive bar, like, the
Mm.
intention is to go and get drunk for very cheap at this place. The second people
Yeah.
get too handsy, mouthy, whatever, aggressive, I can cut them off and kick them the fuck out. You can do
Yeah.
that as a
That's
server.
like
It's just a different they're like, it's hard to
yeah,
explain,
but,
but, like, when you're bartending, you can
but, like,
push back.
it's but basically in a bar, like, at the bar, you're just drinking, like, it's rare like,
Right.
especially at a dive bar, you're, like, drinking, you're not eating, right? Like, if you're sitting you're at a table, you're eating, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're just drinking, there's a whole different slew of thought
Yeah, and it
processes.
was funny because, like, this bar was kind of like, "I'm sorry, you want something with more than 3 ingredients in it? Like, get the fuck out." Like, if you're ordering anything
Yeah.
more complicated than, like, a beer, a rum and coke, like, maybe we'll throw it like, this place was big with, like, um, you know, college shots, right? So, obviously, those had a bit more than 2 or 3 ingredients sometimes, but, like, it was fun, like, there was one time, we're totally off on a tangent now, but, a bunch of dudes came in that were not regulars here at the bar
Yeah.
where I worked, and they came in, they're like, "It's our friend's birthday, like, you need to make him whatever shot you wanna make him, and, like, he'll do it." So I made him do a blowjob shot where, like,
Yes.
it's a creamy shot, then you've gotta, like, tie your hands put your hands behind your back and take.
And behind your back and drink the yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, they didn't fight me because I did exactly what they said. They're like, "Dealer's choice." I was like, "Alright, birthday
Yeah,
boy, pony up."
alright, here you go.
I don't know, bartending's fun as hell.
You're gonna I so that's, like, the thing that so I was never a ser I worked in customer service, but I was never a server. So that's, like, an interesting dynamic,
Yeah.
which I never realized.
Everyone
But,
should have
so
to work in customer
I
service
customer service
a service job at some point in their life. It should be mandatory.
agreed.
Like
I agree, and that's, like, one of the Subway takes somebody said, th're like, "Everybody must work as either a waitress, bartender,
1000%.
at a store, or anything to deal with like, to know how to talk to people, to know how to read people,
Yep.
to know how to help people, to know how to, like, like, it's just a great way to, like yeah, so I agree with that. So one of the things so, like, one of the things with this documentary that I found interesting it was a little slow for me.
It
Like, it was
is.
like it's like it's slow and, like, in the sense that,
They're
like,
sitting
I would
around, you're
never
watching them spit into containers, like, it's
Ye
for a long
yeah,
time.
but, like, it's yeah, but I liked to a certain degree, like, at first you're like, "Oh, it's slow," but then, like, it helps you learn their motivations. Like,
Absolutely.
if it was a faster documentary,
Yeah.
like, you'd be like, "I don't understand why and how they're doing this." So, like, you understand the pacing, I think, a little bit later
Mhm.
of, like, why it's paced the way it is. Um Because it's, like, kind of taking you through the test, like, in a weird in, like, a back way, um, and I really appreciate I think I realized the pacing afterwards, and I was like, "Oh," I was kind of like, "Oh, this is so slow," and then, like, Ian wasn't doing me any favors. I was like, "This douche,
He's in a movie that shouldn't have a villain, he's somehow a
he has a
villain.
villain. He's a fucking villain."
Like
Like, the second his girlfriend was like, "These are his priorities, and I'm last." I'm like, "Girl, you in danger, girl." Like,
yeah,
I was
like, it's
like
not that serious.
that was my what the fuck moment, by the way. The second she said that, she was like, "Oh, I'm his" like, I was like, "You gotta get out."
Yeah,
And then, like, at the end where you're, like, a year later, she's still with the dude, and you're like,
I know, I know. Do you know how many master sommeliers there are in the world?
"No, I don't." It's gotta be, like, 250 what? This was in 2012, and Ian was the 197th. So, I'm guessing 250?
You're really close, 279. Good guess. But that's crazy.
Crazy.
In the whole
Like,
world, there
think
are
about
only
it.
279.
And think about it, 2012, this documentary was 2012, 2013, and this is 13 years later,
Yeah,
and we have what? A little you said 279, so, like, a little bit more than, like, 80 something,
yeah,
and you're like, "That's nuts."
yeah.
That, like, in a 12-year span, only 80 people
Around the world.
around that like, in a world of 8 billion people
Yeah,
plus
yeah, yeah.
have mastered this.
So I, like
Like,
part of me, like, after watching the and there's now a whole there Somm has its own subscription, like, its own streaming service, which I definitely subscribe to
what
and
do you
have for a very long time.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Somm is its own streaming, network.
Like, there's a channel about wine?
There's a streaming service for Somm. Yes. I've had it for years. It's amazing. And it's all the Saw movies are on it because there are, like, 4 or 5 of them now.
Right.
They do these, like my favorite are, like, famous wine people from around the world, whether they're master sommeliers or just sommeliers or wine shop owners or, like, well-known food and beverage personalities. They just 2 of them meet up and they do blind tastings with each other, and those are my favorite. They're like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes long tops, and actually some of my favorite places I've been to in the Napa Valley area come from some of those tastings, like, from watching some of those blind
Oh,
tastings. So it's so fun, but
yeah.
they have, like, oh my god, they have all these different, like, you can go they'll just do, like, a tour, like, a 10-minute video of a tour of, um, Trimbach in Alsace or Mayacamas in Napa, or, like, it's just I mean, like, for wine nerds like me, it is, like, absolutely worth the $10 a month to
Yeah.
just, like I will sometimes especially during COVID, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll watch the hell out of all this." But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of documentaries, and they're all very good, and they're all very interesting. Um, and
I'm glad I learned something today.
yeah, yeah, there you go. But
I
I remember watching this and being like, "I'm never gonna do this. This is crazy. I wanna do this. I'm never gonna do this." And then I started, like, thinking to myself, "Well, like, maybe I'll just do level 1 because I love wine. I love I love learning about the winemaking process. I love visiting vineyards and going to places where wine is prevalent, because it's
I'm a
like
I'm a big f I'm a big fan of getting drunk at wine and vineyard at
hell yeah. And we
wineries.
have
Big
amazing
fan.
ones just outside Washington, DC, like, truly
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful places with good wine.
You you actually follow a vineyard that I follow because I follow her because she was the owner is my best friend from high school.
Really? Which one?
Yeah. Stinson Vineyards. She was my best friend in high school. I've, like we lost touch, but, like,
That's
I kind of
amazing.
wanna just be like
I
I
haven't
kinda
been
wanna, like,
there.
message her and be yeah, yeah, I haven't been there either, like, I tried, and one of the things I wanted to do was go during like, right before COVID or, like, I was like, "Oh, I had a baby, I'm gonna go, like, at some point, like, when we go outside," when you had a the weird thing about having a baby right when COVID started is that I had a fear of going out for a while, like, obviously, um but, like, that was one of the things I was like, "It's so pretty, I'm just gonna go take my baby out there," and, like, that didn't work, but I have to reach out, but
Yeah,
they
let's
have
do
some
it.
really good wines. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've got some good wine around here. So I was like, what if I just do, like, level 1? And started looking into that, but so I'm bringing this up because if anyone's, like, super interested in this stuff, if your intention is to get into wine, you wanna break into the industry or whatever, the Court of Master Sommeliers, CMS, is probably the route you wanna go. The route that I learned about while in Napa, actually, back in 2019 is WSET, um, which is out of London. It's the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. They have 4 levels as well. and for wine, and it is perfect for people who even if you are gonna go in the industry, WSET is great. But if you're just interested in wine and wanna know, like me, I have my WSET level 1 and 2. I did them during COVID because I was like, "I love wine." My big thing was, like, I know a lot about US wine. I know the regions, I know who makes like, what regions make what wine and what regions make what wines well. What always and I knew a lot like, enough, I knew enough about French reds, Italian reds to, like, make a good decision at dinners and stuff like that. But I really didn't like French whites and Italian whites kind of eluded me a little bit, and so WSET level 2 really helped with that because I learned, you know, Sancerre is this region and this grape, and this, Burgundy is this region. Well, the well, reds I kind of already do, but anyway, so I love WSET. It's a great program if you're interested in wine or spirits, or like I have my level 1 in sake, so they do that too. Um,
And by the way, she does pick great wines for dinner.
Thank you. I try.
From experience.
Here's the bottom line, like, drink what you want. Like, just drink what you like, drink what you want. In terms of, like, wanting to know what goes with what, a golden rule is, like, if it grows together, it goes together. If you're ordering a pasta that comes, like, more like a Southern Italian dish, look for a wine that comes from Southern Italy. Yeah. If you're having Spanish tapas, order
Have a
Spanish wine with
Spanish
it. If it grows
wine.
together, it goes together, is a good rule. And then instead of basing your order necessarily off just the meat, you wanna consider the sauce. If there's, like, a beurre blanc sauce over a
You'd wanna
fish, you wanna do
yeah.
something based on the beurre blanc sauce. If you're getting, like, you know, um, a, like a steak au poivre, right? It's not just the steak you're working with, you also have a peppery sauce, so you may want a softer red wine that complements the already peppery sauce that you're getting. So anyway, I'm again
Yeah.
off on a total tangent. Um, but yeah, I loved I think one of the things that makes this documentary almost funny and the whole Ian being a villain type of thing is everyone is like, "Guy, it's not that serious." Also super confident. And then the 2 dudes who are, like, the most lax, Dustin Wilson and Brian McClintock, they stroll in there and, like, ace the fucking thing like it's
The
nobody's
way
business.
wait, I was it Dustin where the guy, like, fucking, like, tuned, like, the way he presented the results, like, he he did it in a way where you thought he failed? Was it Dustin or
I
Brian?
can't remember if it was Dustin or Brian. Dustin's the bald one.
The bald one.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
Dustin.
Yeah,
It was the b I was like, "Come on, man, like, what the fuck was that?" Where
I
he,
know.
like, stood up and, like, almost hit a wall where he's like, "I thought I failed you, asshole," like
So, I've met Dustin Wilson because he has a wine shop in New York called Verve.
Okay,
That's
okay,
very cool. Actually, if I think it's the 3rd Somm movie, they do a tasting in the back room of that. Um,
okay.
in I can't remember, is it as south as the Village? I think it's in the Village. I for whatever reason, I started thinking it was Chelsea, but it's in the Village. So highly recommend there's one in San Francisco, and I think he just opened one somewhere else too, but highly recommend that wine shop. It's and, like, that's where you go if you wanna get some, like, funky wines, like, because he's right? Like, he's a master sommelier, like, he now owns a wine shop. He can put in there whatever he wants, like, he's and I think that's why he did it. He's not serving in the restaurant industry, he's not working at a vineyard, he's got his own wine shop, and he gets to curate the wine that he wants, and so you can walk in there and ask for some really cool stuff. Um,
Also, minor programming note, shout out to Elaine's sweater that has grapes on it,
this is my Japanese
and it's
wine
and
sweater that
it's
I yes,
and it's purple, and it has grapes on it.
it does.
So, shout out. Shout out.
I wore this to my Actually, very specifically wore this to do my sake WSET because
Nice.
we bought it in
Nice.
Japan, and I was like, "This feels right."
Yeah. Ugh,
Um,
Japan. Do we wanna go there real quick?
to Japan, I wanna go all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna just go there? Yeah,
Yeah, fuck
we'll be
this.
back real fast. Yeah, bye.
Some of the best wine I've ever had is in Japan because they get the best of everything,
Oh my they get the best of everything, and that's
as
like
they
what
should.
tan tangent alert. One of the things that I really appreciate about, like, Japanese cuisine, Japanese, like, drinks, all this shit is, like, they go yes, they have their own traditional stuff and they, kind of, like, respect their culture and all that, but they have a really keen eye of going, "I like that from that place, and I'm going to do it, and you know what? Maybe I'll do it better than you." Like, that kind of, like, thing,
100%.
even though like, I saw this video the other day of, like, a bar in Japan that was, like, making espresso martinis, and he sets the bar on fire, and I'm like, I
Cocktail
want
bars
to
in
go to there.
Japan are fucking next
I was like,
level,
"Next level." I was like, "I want to go to there."
right? Right? Yeah.
You set something on fire, and I'm a Gemini. It's all I'm just like
I think they do it out of respect, and they do it out of respect because they like the food, they respect the food, but they put so much, like, care and precision and learning into it that they do become
Yes.
better. Like, some of the best French food in the world is in fucking Japan,
And
like,
for Yeah.
some of the best pizza I've had is in Japan. It's like they
So the best ice cream, gelato, like,
oh my
all
god.
of it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
There's so much respect in that culture that they're like, "If I'm gonna do this, it's because I like it, and don't wanna disrespect where it's coming from." And chances
yeah.
are they're probably actually gonna do it even better because then that becomes their whole focus.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But
And I think to that point about, like, specific focus, I also found interesting how despite their disparate, like, attitudes and personalities around this test, is that they still need each other to study,
totally.
right? And I liked how Brian makes a comment about what if somebody fails,
Yeah.
right? And then they'll have to go and, it's ironic because I feel like he was making the comment about himself. Like, in a way, he was like, "I'm the one who's most likely to fail." Because I feel like, like, Dustin and Ian were, like, studying together all the time, but, like, Dustin and Brian were, like, kind of hanging out a lot, so my guess is they were studying also, but to a certain degree, I feel like Brian felt like the odd man out there, and he was like, "I'm the one that's probably most likely to fail,"
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I found, you know, interesting-ish. At least
Which,
that's how
like
I read it,
yeah.
but
So each one of them they're all doing just fine, right? Like, Ian goes on and passes the test eventually. Um, what's what I think is the most infuriating part of the whole thing, and I think was especially the moment where I was like, "Fuck this, I'm never doing this," is, like, they won't tell you what you got right and wrong. You'll
yes.
never know, and you have to get it down to the 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 vintner, the varietal, the fucking vintage. Like, you need to get everything right, and it's truly amazing. Like, it really is amazing what they can do. When I was pregnant, um, my husband would open a bottle of wine, but he would hide the bottle of wine from me because my sense of smell was a fucking bloodhound, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bloodhound. And because passed I had
Yes.
just gotten my PIN for WSET2, and then a month later was pregnant. I couldn't then drink the wine
Drink it.
that I
Yeah,
had been
yeah, yeah.
studying for, but my husband would test me, and, he would open a bottle, not let me see the shape because a lot of times even the shape of the bottle can give away what kind of wine it is. Like, Pinot Noirs are always in a very specific bottle. Cabernets are usually in a specific bottle. Rieslings are in a specific bottle. And so he would hide the bottle, pour himself a glass, and then I just based on my nose
On smell.
would guess just the varietal. Uh, and I did really well, like, really, really, really
Well, yeah, your sense of smell is so heightened at that
yeah,
point,
I mean,
like,
if the
in
smell of it made
pregnancy,
me
like
wanna vomit everywhere,
of
but I had
course.
so much fun
Everything makes
playing
you
that game for such a long
that sounds
time.
like a
Because if I couldn't
sounds
drink
like
it,
a
I was
fun
like,
game.
"Well, at least I'm practicing with the aromas and stuff." Um, but yeah, so all these guys are doing pretty well. As I said, Dustin owns, a great wine shop, several wine shops now. Ian's got his own wine thing going on. Uh, Brian McClintock, um went off the rails a little bit. I followed him big time on Instagram, and he he basically, like, moved into the wilderness, like, grew out his area, became a big mountain man, started making music. He still does wine stuff, but he's got his own wine club, and again, you can get some, like, really funky, cool wines from him, but he has kind of become, like, this self-proclaimed spokesman against, like, big wine, right? Like, big corporate wine stuff, like, stick it to the v yeah, like,
Oh my
he's kind of a mountain
god.
man, which is so funny because, like, he's so adorable in this documentary.
He is, he's, like, going
Uh,
fishing until further notice will reemerge when I have re-recorded my album.
yeah, so he's got a wine subscription. He focuses a lot on, like, organic wine, which, like, I get. He's the master somm, right? Like, you do you, bro.
Oh,
But
he has a
he winds
podcast now.
oh, yeah, okay, I'm sure he does. That's good.
It says it's called Two Flutes.
Oh, I like that.
Flutes, like
Yeah, like
wine
talking
flute.
flutes.
Released on April 13th, 2026.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Um, and so Dylan Proctor, who I loved him, I was so upset when he doesn't pass. Um,
Yes, and he doesn't seem like he passed, right? Like,
he has not passed.
even now,
He's
okay.
still a Master Somm candidate. He has not
Yeah,
passed, and just because he's a candidate doesn't mean he continues to take it. He may have decided, like, "Listen, I'm cool with what I've
I'm
done."
done, yeah, yeah.
If any listeners watched, you've probably seen him on several things. He's been in a bunch of movies that are about wine, and I was stoked to see him in Kevin Hart started his own, um, streaming show on Peacock during COVID
Yeah,
called Heart to Heart, and he basically was
yes.
like he was just sitting in his wine cellar having conversations with, big name actors and songwriters and basically just people Kevin Hart wanted to talk to. And Dylan Proctor was his somm during that show. And so the first time we watched it, I was like, "Oh shit, there's Dylan." But yeah, they have him on the streaming service. They have him do all sorts of tastings. Like he hosted the Maya Kamis tasting or the sorry, not Maya Kamis, Mathiasen tasting and like tour that they did. So he's doing
What's
great.
what's
Mathiasen's
my
another like just
yeah,
stellar Napa Valley wine that I have yet to go to
got it.
that tasting room, but soon enough. But he does a lot of like keynote speaking, wine education. So he's doing just they all seem to be doing just fine for themselves, which is
Yeah,
good.
I feel like you if you're, like, at that level, like, it's not like, you're gonna be okay type of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people
But
watch this documentary. Like it's a big documentary. So, you know,
it's on you like, I've the thing that I found the most interesting was, like, it's on YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's not,
I think they're all on Amazon Prime too, or what are were at one point.
I didn't find it on Amazon Prime
And
because I
maybe
am
they took it down
focused
because of the streaming service, but who knows? It's a
maybe, but yeah, I'm watching Off Campus, obviously. Well, I finished it already, but don't get me started. I have
but
many
so the
thoughts.
reason
Um,
you what?
no, I have many thoughts, but I have many thoughts about a lot of things, but, like, what I just and also, why did we only see, I found it weird that they also did Dylan as, like, the server part first. I was like, I won't say exactly what I think, but I think Elaine's got me.
I got
She
you.
gets what I'm thinking. And I was like, "Could we have done someone
Yeah,
else, maybe?
yeah.
Perhaps?" Um, but we haven't even talked about Dane, like the
Yeah,
first US sommelier, which I love, like, he's really
love him.
I love him, like, even when he's being an asshole to, like,
Oh, I
everybody
don't
where he's
care.
trying to train them,
I love him so
like,
much.
you'd like, like, even when he's an asshole, he's being I don't wanna say kind about it, but it's not malicious. Like, even when he was sitting and I hated Ian, like, I hate him, like, Ian, if you're listening and if you've grown from there, because you attacking a master sommelier, telling them they were wrong about how they poured the fuck you. Like, that was the moment where, like, I couldn't anymore. Like, where he was like, he not that he just was, like, asking them what the bottle was, fine, but even when he walked away, he was like, "I'm right," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, you're
I
wrong.
no, sorry. Sorry, bro. Yeah,
Sorry, bro."
I'm such a nerd that I nerd out when I meet some of these master sommeliers. I've met a couple. Um,
Of course you have.
is well, I've also Bobby
You go
Stuckey.
to these places, so, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, it's these like, I wouldn't I mean, they're kind of celebrities in, like, a way, but, like, you
Yeah,
can meet them in specific, like, places.
they're
It's
very
not like
approachable.
actors where you're Yeah. Well, yeah, have you met Ian?
No, 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 I haven't. I met
Okay.
Dustin. I have met Bobby Stuckey, who could not be more amazing or delightful. He owns one of my favorite restaurants I've ever been to called Frasca in Boulder, Colorado. Believable restaurant. And then he has a bunch of little, Neapolitan style brick oven pizza places that are also really good throughout Denver and Boulder. So I've met him. And then Aldo Somm, who is this master sommelier. At one point, he's Austrian. Linda giving the nod. At one point, he was the world's greatest sommelier, like literally named the greatest sommelier in the 90s. He is the sommelier for Le Bernardin in New York City, but literally next door, he has his own wine place that is one of our favorite stops to go to because the food in there is also really good. Um, Even if a lot of times we will check out of our hotel, we'll go to Aldo Som for lunch and a couple glasses of wine, and then we get on the train and we go home. But
Yeah.
you see him in both places because literally next door across this little alleyway from each other. But he's the master som at Le Bernardin, which is still to this day one of the best restaurants, not just in New York City but in the world. Eric Repair, fan fucking tastic place. So we've met him a couple times, and he's delightful. I'm trying to think if we've probably seen some others because we've been to Napa a couple times, and a lot of them not
Yeah.
they are there. But it is funny because, I'm kind of to me, they're my kind of celebrity because 'cause I'm just a big wine nerd.
Yeah, and I feel like these people are much more like not to say that artists or, like, actors aren't, like, working hard or things like that, but I feel like this one's, like I feel like with actors and artists, there's, like, a certain amount of, like, talent,
Yeah.
right? Like, some people like, you work on things, but there's some people that have charisma, there's some people that are like, I feel like with wine, you have to actually study,
You're
like,
in the s
you
no,
could
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
like, I can go, and if I worked hard enough, like, I can attain like, anybody like, to a certain degree, it felt very approachable in the sense of, if you want to do this, you just have to put in the time, you're gonna have to make a lot of sacrifice, like, that type of thing where, you know, because again, we had a great documentary about a talented wine guy, and he was a fucking
Fraud.
fraud. Right? So I feel like this was one where despite, some of my very strong feelings about some people that shall remain nameless on this documentary, I think the concept of hard work, putting in the hours was clearly there. And
Oh,
I
for
feel
sure.
like that's what and I feel like that's what got Ian in the end, that he, like, thought he was talented for it. And then it's like, that's not actually the
Right. Right. Um, yeah, and they're in the service industry, right? They become master sommeliers to then go work at the greatest restaurants in the world. They're like that's what I mean, like, they're approachable. They're 'cause you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or they do this
Their
to
whole
then
point is
serve people,
customer
right,
service. Their whole point is customer service,
right,
yeah.
right. And, to nerd out a little bit more, the whole reason that we chose this documentary this week, at the time of recording, so when this comes out, actually, 4 will be 5 days from the 50th anniversary of the judgment. Yeah, the Judgment of Paris, which is it was a blind wine tasting, um, that is the reason that the United States has a wine industry. It is the reason that Napa, Sonoma, that whole area even got on the map. Um, there's a movie called Bottle Shock that I recommend to everybody. I talked about it last time. There's not really a documentary about this event. This is a movie, like a produced movie. Alan Rickman, Bill Pullman, Chris Pine, like fantastic cast. That
I've watched
tells
this movie.
yeah, it's so
I've
good.
seen it.
That tells
So
the
good.
story of this event. And the first time I watched it, it was like an America fuck yeah moment for me where I was like, this is an American history moment. We fucking beat the French at their own game. Like it was like such a fucking big
Get in line. Get in line, people.
it's so listen, I'm half French. I'm a bit of a Francophile. I fucking love France. I love the
I
French.
am a
Everyone thinks they're a
Francophile.
bunch of
I
like,
want to run the Paris Marathon. I
yes,
mean, come
you're
on, like, I'm
going
not
to,
like,
you're going to. But, like, who doesn't
I'm
love
gonna
to beat the
attempt it.
French at their own game? So, in 1976, Steve Spurrier, who is an American hero, even though he's British, he owned he owned L'Académie de Vin in Paris. Um, and he had this great idea of he had heard about these farmers in Northern California who were starting to make wine and no one was taking them seriously. So he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go and like see what happens. Turns out we make really good fucking wine here. So he goes to California and decides he's going to set up a tasting of French and American wine in France with nothing but French tasters.
Judge.
There
Yeah.
was yeah, judges. There was one American and only one reporter showed up from America, George Tabor. He wrote a book about it. Because otherwise, like, no French outlet was gonna write about this because we fucking beat the French. And not to so the story of Bottle Shock is about Chateau Montelena, which if you go to Napa, you absolutely have to go. Their Chardonnay, which is the greatest Chardonnay on the planet, and it's not buttery. It is this, like, crisp, light, beautiful Chardonnay, like, life-changing Chardonnay. That one, believe it was a 1973 or 1974 vintage, won the white wine category. There is like, a bottle of the 73 is in the Smithsonian, in the American History Museum because of it. Yes. Yes. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Because it is such a moment. It's a piece of American history. Not only did we win the white wine, we fucking won in red wine too. And that is
Yeah.
Stag's Leap Cellars that won, which is what I am drinking right now in honor. I was gonna open some Chateau Montelena, but I only have red from Chateau Montelena at the moment. So I wanted to be like super on brand. Wegmans is now charging like $85 for a bottle of the Chardonnay when I used to be able to get it for 42.
Yeah, I'm, like, on the website, I'm like, "I need to maybe try
But
one
it
of
is like
these."
it is when you go visit it, or
Yeah.
in St. Helena, it is a gorgeous property. The wine is
Looks it.
spectacular. I went for a bike ride today. I wore my biking kit that I got from there, so I've got a big dopey, I say big, they're skin tight, but biking shirt from Chateau Montelena. Um,
Whilst I was getting cocktails for
Nerd.
lunch.
But it's just such an interesting story. Bottle Shock, like, I don't even care if people don't like the movie, just, like, the story in and of itself is so great. There's also, like, a little bit of, like, agricultural science piece to it too that's really interesting. Um, but yeah, so that was the impetus for picking this documentary because we are less than 2 weeks away from celebrating the 50th anniversary, which I am absolutely going to be doing, by setting up my own blind tasting of French and American wine and seeing, you know, seeing what comes out of it.
Who can do
But, like, I mean,
Yeah, you know, now
we're talking about some of, like, the greatest houses in French wine being beat by by silly
I
American
mean,
farmers is how they thought of us.
oh, silly American farmers.
Yeah, yeah,
Never discount people. Everybody remember
yeah.
Independence Day?
Bill Pullman again, perfection,
Perfection.
perfection.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I actually watched the scene where, Jeff Goldblum, like, realizes he has to give a fucking virus to the like, a computer virus,
I
and, like,
love that
then, like,
movie so much.
so much.
Movie's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I will also throw in that if you go to Napa, you can drink wine with one of the winemakers of the Chardonnay that beat the French. His name is Gustavo Brambilla. He was delightful. We booked a private tasting with him when we were out there for my birthday. He makes his own wine now. He was under Mike Gergich, who was the winemaker at Chateau Montelena at the time. And Mike Gergich, adorable little man from Croatia, he ended up making his own wine that was Gergich Cellars, Gergich Hills, still in existence today, still makes great wine. Gustavo was under Mike Gergich brought Gustavo in, and, like, he's I don't know, in his 60s now, but, like, he's wearing, like, 2 or 3, like, button-up shirts on top of each other and, like, dirty jeans. I'm
Aw,
like, fucking love this guy. So if
like,
you're
millennial core.
I know, right? Like, just like, that's farm country core, right? Like, he's just like, he said, he's like, "We're just a bunch of farmers." Like, I don't know what the big deal is, but he makes great wine. So yeah, I'm gonna continue nerding out about wine, and what I'm very excited about is 3 days after the anniversary, I will be in Northern California for some work meetings, and there's a pretty good chance Imma sneak my ass up to Napa just for an
As
afternoon just to be
as you
there around the 50th anniversary.
Don't tell
So,
everybody who's listening, don't tell. Be cool, baby
not
jam.
not during any of my meetings, after the meetings, of
Who
course.
cares? Do it during your meetings, it's
I
fine.
don't want them
Nobody's gonna tell.
It's all a
I'm
construct, who
not gonna
gives a
tell.
shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit, man? Like, oh no, I'm, like, coming down off of my cocktails, and I'm like,
I can hear it.
"Nothing matters." I was like, "Nothing matters."
Wine matters.
Do you kn do you know how fast like, I'm just like, "Man."
The eyelids are getting
But
heavy.
yeah, no, I'm actually so the thing I think fundamentally, this one was really about, people acquiring knowledge in a way where they were like, I'm really curious about this and I want to do this. And it's kind of like the Barkley marathons in a way, right? Like people learn about this and they're like, this is stupid hard. This is going to be an insane experience. But you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to push whatever limits of whatever thing that I need to do to get this done.
you're goddamn
Right?
right.
And some people like Dylan, like, don't do it and they're just fine. And then some others like do it and they, go be in the woods. Do you think Dylan's run the Barkley marathons? Now he's like a fucking mountain man?
O'Brien?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Do you
He's, like, out in
I
Oregon,
w
I think. Not that he couldn't try.
But he could totally go to the he could fucking go to the fucking
Could. I don't know if he's a
yeah.
runner.
I mean, if you're out in the woods anyway, you could conceivably walk the Barkley marathons if you wanted. You don't have to run it. Anyway, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think everybody, like, went on a path.
Yeah.
One's on Kevin Hart's show, one has his store, one's in the fucking woods with a podcast. The other one, who the fuck cares? And I sorry, I just Ian, if you are a
Who's the
lovely person
villain? Like,
now,
I think he would own it. He was totally the villain.
I feel like he would own
You
it. And
should.
you know what, Ian? The moment you fucked with going, "They poured the wine," I was like, "Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck off." And you know what? Like, I feel like it was a universe sign to be like, "You're gonna fail this now." No.
You should watch the other Somm documentaries, like the Into the Bottle
Is he in
one.
them?
I th I recall the 3rd one kind of gets, um, a number of them back together.
Okay.
Yeah, the 3rd one especially, the Somm Into the Bottle, the 2nd one, is very cool. It's very different than the others.
Yeah.
It talks a little bit more, like, on like, the serving portion of it. Like, there's a point where they have to decant a bottle of wine perfectly, then rebottle, like, re-pour the wine from the decanter into the bottle without spilling a single fucking drop, and they have to do it all in one sequence. You can't hesitate or anything. And then there's another test portion where you need to
I spilled I have,
perfect
like s I've spilled my wine drinking it.
You watched me lick the bottle of the top. This is my
Yeah,
trick.
I
I
I
will lick the top of the bottle if
you
I'm
should lick the bottle. I'm
Well,
just
it's
drinking
fucking
out of,
drinking it.
like,
Who gives a fuck?
how can you decant and then what?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, and then you have to perfectly pour 6 glass
Bitches be crazy. Bitches be
This would be
crazy.
crazy. Perfectly pour 6 glasses of champagne. Basically, you have to pour an entire bottle of champagne into 6 glasses, but each one, like, again, you can't hesitate. You have to eyeball it to be like, that's all 6 of these glasses are going to be exactly level to each other, but you can't go back and add more to others. You have to do it each on one go. It's super stressful, but it's super interesting. I can't remember. Ian might be in that one. I know he's in another one of the later ones.
Is he gonna ruin champagne for me?
No,
Is he
no, no, no,
gonna
no,
ruin
no.
okay.
Again, I haven't watched them in a while. If I recall, he does have a little bit of a redemption arc.
Okay.
I am remembering that, so but they're also just really interesting and really good.
Yeah. I don't know. Full disclosure, I did start watching Somm 2 by mistake.
Yeah, just keep going with it, who cares?
And I was
It's
like,
good
"Wait,
for
what?"
documentaries, 'cause, like,
Yeah, I was like,
it's not stressful.
this is the wrong one." I was like, "Wait, what? No, this is not Somm."
Yeah, like, I would much rather watch that. I made the mistake one time of watching there's a documentary about, an avalanche that happened in Lake Tahoe back in the '80s. I made the mistake of watching that on a plane and, like, became incredibly claustrophobic while watching it, and, like, my my I felt like I was like, "I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack because 'cause I'm too confined, and then I'm watching these people stuck under snow." Like, no. So watching some on
It's
an
exactly li
airplane, much better idea.
it's exactly like watching Coco on an airplane or any
Bad
Pixar movie for
decisions.
that matter.
It's the
These are
altitude.
bad decisions. Uh-huh. You can't you can't watch a Pixar movie on a fucking plane.
No, but
Don't do it.
what's another nerdy, interesting one thing is to read about, airlines have gotten very good at hiring somms because your taste buds are so different in the air, right? A lot of people talk about they love tomato juice up in the air because your taste buds get dulled, so it doesn't taste as acidic, and so, like, some people
Huh.
swear by tomato juice on an airplane. Yeah, that is
No, I mean
not for
this.
me.
Would it be this?
Yeah, it's not for me. But airlines have taken all of that into consideration with wine. So a lot of times you'll see these like bolder types of wine up there because your taste buds are dulled. So it'll actually like soften the wine and go well with even your airplane food. So,
Huh,
yeah.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
it's very interesting. So, there you go.
Well,
There
I
you
mean,
have it.
again, if I don't know, I feel like I wanna hate Ian, and I'm gonna hold that
You can hold on.
over the weekend. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna hold on to it.
You do you,
I'm
girl.
glad that I'm glad that Brian's out in the woods.
Yes. He's doing him.
Um, he's doing him, good for him. I'm going to New York next week. I don't again, I don't know
You should go
what
to
the
Aldo Somm.
fucking
It's
that's what I was gonna
fantastic.
say.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna go and check out Dustin's little thing
Verve. Yes. I'll
if
send them to you. I'll send them
for
to you. Um,
wherever I do I don't know where I am in condition to, like, anything else, so hopefully I'm next to it.
Aldo Somm is Midtown. It's like 53rd and 6th.
I think I have to go, to I think I have to go to Soho?
Well, then you won't be far from Verve.
Okay, okay,
You won't be
good.
far from Verve. Um,
Yeah,
uh, Aldo Somm, though, definitely, like I mentioned, he's the Somm at Le Bernardin. Aldo Somm, way more approachable too, like, price-wise.
okay.
It's still, like, we're not talking fast casual here, but, like, it's not a full Michelin star sit down 30 course tasting menu. It's like snacks and wine and it's
Yeah, no, that sounds like I can do that because I think I have an event, so I'll be done a little bit later.
yeah,
Um,
I'll send you both. Yay.
anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna hold on to things, and now you know what? I would like to learn more about I mean, I don't think I don't know about wine. I feel like I know about champagnes. I can distinguish, different types of champagne. So like, do you like what you like,
Yeah,
but learn about things. Don't keep yourself like all shut to the world,
and
everybody.
also don't be afraid of it. I know wine can feel snooty and snobbery, but that's actually become a whole lot more lax because there are a lot more somms that I've run into who are like, "Drink what you like." Like, I'm happy to give a recommendation, but, like, what do you like? And sometimes people will be like,
Yeah.
"White wine," and I'm ordering a steak, and they'll be like, "Okay, cool, but, like, let me help you maybe pick something that's also gonna pair well with your meal," without being like, "Ugh, how dare you order a red wine with salmon?" Like, first of all, you can order Pinot Noir with fucking anything, okay? Champagne and Pinot
Yeah.
Noir are called neutrals. They go with everything. If you're ever going to someone's house and you don't know what to bring or you don't know what they're serving, bring champagne or bring Pinot Noir. It will be a no-fail
Cheers.
situation.
Cheers.
But yeah, like, don't be afraid of wine or go to a local wine shop and tell them you're learning. Here's what you think you like. A lot of times they'll do tastings so you can kind of get a taste of even Total Wine, which yes is a much bigger place, but like they do tastings all the time. They do classes. So I think wine is like the wine industry knows they need to be more approachable and that it's not like
Yeah.
fuck Trader Joe's $3 check still exists. Like you don't need a
Also,
lot of money to drink decent wine.
you don't, but also be curious. Like, it's
Yes.
okay for you to be like, I don't know something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's kind of the whole thing. And we've talked about this, I think, in and out. But that's what I, appreciate even about Ian, that they're learning about things they don't know and they know that, this is hard and they have to work really hard on it. And they're like, really, Ian put in the hours. Like, you can't say that he
100%.
just like waltzed in there and was like, fuck this shit. Like, I just, no, like, he just was a little bit too cocky about it, but he put in the time. Like, that's kind of one of the things that I think is like universal
And
around this.
eventually it
Like,
paid
when you
off.
put in the, yeah, and you
Yeah.
put in the time and you work at something and you love something and you can get it done. You
You
can
can
get it done.
totally get it done
Yeah. Um, anyway, we don't know what our next episode is, so next time you tune in, it'll be a surprise
for all of us.
for all of us. Maybe right up to like 10 minutes before we record. Who knows, everybody?
We could pull it out
Who
of a hat.
knows?
We'll just pull it out of a hat.
We
We'll
could
pull a
Oh
topic
my
out of
god,
a hat
let's
and
do
see how
that.
long we can talk about it. Let's
Exactly, which we did walk a marathon and yapped for the entire time.
Of
So
course.
I'm pretty sure that you shouldn't bet against us on that one.
I have thoughts
But
about everything, so
yeah, I have thoughts about everything. All this to say, I think this is a great one. Only for my hatred. My what the fuck meter was the moment where Ian's girlfriend said, I'm the last priority, and I give that a 7. That was a 7 because I'm like, girl, you in danger, girl. Like, learn your worth.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I think, I learned a lot about this. And like the different like I didn't know about the varietals and like the different grapes and like that variety like I just didn't know that at all. I just was like, there's a lot of like different types of wines, but like the intricacies of how they work. So I think that's what I, really enjoyed. And I really enjoyed hating Ian.
Yeah, and that's another thing that WSET will teach you is depending on what
To
country
hate Ian?
no, to hate Ian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
it'll teach you about how to read a wine bottle, which is important because every country does it differently. There's a bit of a universal, flow to most wine bottles, but like you get into German wines, you're like, "What the fuck is all this?" Or Spanish wines, like, to know what reserva means versus Gran Reserva and, like because there are standards put with all of those too. So, if nothing like, that's another thing
Right.
that helps me is, like, okay, now I know I love German wines, but they gotta be bone fucking dry, and now I know how to identify that because the way they label things is completely different from how the US and the French and the Italians do it. So
One of my favorite, favorite wines, is from Austria, and I have to look up the name, but basically it's like this sparkling wine that's like it's like a rosé sparkling wine,
ooh.
and it's called, something Hoodler or something like that, but basically it's like a play on words for an owl, because if people drank it too much, you would, like, get sauce like, your eyes just dilate like owls, and, like, eventually you would go nuts because you drank too much of it. And I'm like, "This feels very on brand for me."
I love it.
So, that's kind of one of my favorites, non-champagne sparkling wines. I tend to not I like cava and I don't sorry, everybody, prosecco is a wine I put in other things.
Yes.
Like,
It's a
I'll
little
put it in, like, a mimosa or, like, a
a
Hugo
spritz.
or
Yeah,
things like that, like a spritz,
sure.
but I don't dilute cava and I don't dilute champagne. If you dilute champagne, just don't talk to me. Like, just go.
And you don't
I
need to
feel
put
like
it in
Ian would
a
dilute his yeah, and I feel like Ian would dilute his champagne for some
put
reason.
your sparkling wine in a regular wine glass.
Yes,
Don't put it in
please.
a flute. They created
No.
champagne flutes for cheap champagne so you couldn't get the nose and know that it was cheap. So, I like champagne flutes are great for celebratory stuff, they look pretty. You can use them, of course, but for, like, good champagne and good sparkling wines, use a regular wine glass. There's my last little
Yep,
dirty tidbit. Sorry.
and you know what? I love it. I think we should do a whole you know what? I think I figured out our next episode.
Okay.
Drinking.
Yes, done. Done.
You wanna you wanna drink right now?
Yes.
I think the g cheers.
Cheers.
I think the whole concept of the whole discussion around drinking right now with, millennials versus Gen Zers versus Gen Xers,
Menzies are changing the
I
game.
think well, they are, but kids, you can't afford the drinks.
No,
We
we'll talk
used to
about it
have
next week.
we'll talk oh, yeah, yeah. Do you wanna record it real fast? I mean, I got nothing going on.
Love
And we'll have to be drinking for that one as well. I feel like there's a theme.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had drinks
There's
in one of our recordings in a long time, so
in a long time. So
overdue.
fun. We should do more about alcohol. For how very millennial of us.
Done.
And well, come back next time for more alcohol.
For more alcohol as fuck.
Yes, alcohol as fuck. We have rebranded. Um, I did get an email from LabCorp last week, which was like, "Is your liver okay?" I'm like, "No,
Girl, no. I don't give a shit. In this
no."
economy?
In this economy, we've gotta dull the pain somehow.
Yup.
God damn. Alright. Well, with that, I hope everybody else's liver is okay. Elaine's and I is definitely not, but we're okay with that.
I'm good with
That's how
it.
we go.
I earned it.
That's where we that's how we go. And yeah, Elaine, take us out.
Stay drunk. No, stay interesting.
No, it was right. You had to
Oh,
I'm just the description of this, episode sorry, I know we were gonna take us out. It's just gonna be, like, like, random keys.
do it. Done.
Anyway, take us
Interesting.
out.